Well, it's with heavy hearts, ladies and gentlemen, we have to pass on for some very sad news to start your Easter weekend. One of the greatest athletes in Canadian history, probably the best pure goal scorer in NHL history, has passed away after a short battle with lung cancer. Now, Mike Bossy, for many of my generation, we saw him as one of the '91, has passed away from lung cancer. Now, he was only 65. The Islanders and TVA Sports, the French language network in Canada, as a hockey analyst, spokesperson said Bossy passed away in his native Montreal. Now, Bossy had revealed his diagnosis in October in a letter to TVA Sport. He wrote at the time in French, I intend to fight with all the determination and fire you've seen me show on the ice. It's the third loss the Islanders have suffered this year of their major players from the 1970s and 80s Dynasty, including Hall of Famer Clark Gillies and Denny Potvin's brother Jean March. Clark passed away in January. Bossy's daughter Tanya said her father was no longer in pain. My dad loved hockey, but first and foremost, he loved life. She said the statement in French on behalf of the Bossy family. Until the end of his journey, he hung on. He wanted to live more than anything. Now, at the height of his career, again, he was the greatest goal scorer that we ever saw, and that's saying a lot. He helped the Islanders win the Stanley Cup between 1980 and 83 and got them to the finals in 84. He won the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP in '82 and was the cup-winning goal scorer in '82 and '83. Now, a first-round pick in '77, he played his entire 10-year NHL career with New York until recurrent injuries, including back problems, ended his career. He won the Calder's Rookie of the Year, got the Lady Byng Trophy for gentlemanly conduct 3 times, and won what is now the Rocket Richard Trophy. He led the league in goals twice. Now, according to the Montreal Canadiens, we're saddened to learn of Mike Bossy's passing this morning. Our thoughts and condolences go out to his friends, family, former teammates, and TVA Sports colleague. And I think he said it best, a legend of our game who will be dearly missed. Now, Bossy scored 50 or more goals in each of his first 9 seasons, which was the league's longest streak. He and Wayne Gretzky, the only players in hockey history with 9 50-goal seasons. The Islanders organization mourns the loss of Mike Bossy, an icon not only on Long Island, but in the entire hockey world. Islanders president GM Lou Lamoriello said, his drive to be the best every time he stepped on the ice was second to none. Along with his teammates, he helped win 4 straight Stanley Cup championships. And shaping the history of the franchise forever. Now, when you think of the New York Islanders, you think of Mike Bossy, because my God, when he was on his game, the infamous 50 goal in 50 games at the old Islander barn was just amazing. Now, he's one of only 5 players to score 50 goals in 50 games. He remains the all-time leader in goals a game in the regular season at .762, and only 2 players have recorded more hat tricks than Bossy's 39. He ranks 3rd in points a game and 7th on the all-time scoring list. Those are all in the regular season, where Bossy put up some of his best numbers in the history of the game. But in the postseason, Bossy was even more clutch. He's the only player with 4 game winners in the same playoff series and scored 3 playoff overtime goals. Now, led by Bossy, Gilly, Trotty, and defenseman Denny Potvin, and of course Billy Smith, and the other key players on the squad, the Islanders succeeded Scotty Bowman's 1970s Montreal Canadiens as the NHL's top team and next dynasty before Gretzky's Edmonton Oilers took over the sport in the mid-1980s. Bossy was an 8-time All-Star and finished with 573 goals and 553 assists for 1,126 points in 752 regular season games. He was the fastest player to reach the 100-goal mark and currently ranks 22nd on the career goals list. In the playoffs, he had 160 points in 129 games. Now, on a personal level, when I first became a journalist was the tail end of his career. My only biggest regret is not covering Bossy and the Islanders. He were unofficially Canada's other Canadian team. Now, back to the injuries ultimately ended his career in '87. He was limited to 38 goals in 63 games and unable to return for an 11th season. Now, Hall of Fame induction in 1991, and in 2017, he was named one of the NHL's top 100's greatest players. Now, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman called Bossy a dynamite winger whose goal-scoring prowess ranks amongst the greatest in NHL history. Though containing him was the obsession of opposing coaches and checking him the focus of opposing players, Bossy's brilliance was unstoppable, and his production relentless throughout his entire career. He thrilled fans like few others. Before reaching the NHL, Bossy played 5 campaigns in the Q with the Laval National. He had 602 points in 298 QMJHL games. He also represented Canada at the Canada Cup in '81 and helped to win in '84. Now, this was long before NHL players began going to the Winter Olympics, and the Canada Cup was the only place where the top players would face off each other from all the countries of the world, including those playing in the NHL. Now, on a personal note, we know Guy Lafleur is in bad shape too as well. He's suffering from long-term cancer. For the Islander faithful, my God, you guys have been through a lot. To lose 3 icons like that, and when people pass like this, we look back. But 65, ladies and gentlemen, that's way too young. Bossy was an own broadcaster. He gave back to the game in so many ways, just being a role model. And you could play like Mike Bossy in 2022, because Mike Bossy played like Mike Bossy from 1977-78 on. Now, French-Canadian superstars come along once in a generation. We got Mario Lemieux, Guy Lafleur, Gilbert Perreault, Mike Bossy. And you can imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. You can imagine what the NHL would have been like without Mike Bossy taking the ice. And there was a period, ladies and gentlemen, where the Islanders were having bad luck in the playoffs, lost a tough series against Montreal, where Montreal was had a tough time. As soon as Mike Bossy arrived, and Stan Fischler said that tonight, he can say it better than me, he was the missing piece. And as soon as he arrived, the Islanders, we knew, were going to win the Cup. It was just a matter of time. But my God, my early youth, watching the Islander-Montreal games, and the Islanders used to play against Toronto and Vancouver and Hockey Night in Canada. What an honor to be a fan and a journalist to watch and cover Mike Bossy. Mike, we love to say across Canada, we love you, we'll miss you, we'll see you down the road. But my God, I don't know how hockey will ever replace you, because you're irreplaceable, good sir. Anyway, rest well. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're doing with our sports podcast, let us know what you like, comment, and subscribe. I don't want to make Sports File an obituary column, because I'm literally scared that Guy is next, and I hope I'm not right, but you know how it goes. It works in threes. We were talking the other day about all these comedians that are passing away lately. It just seems like the great stars of hockey are really, really taking hits in recent weeks and months. And like I said, Mike, we're going to miss you. Thanks for listening. Bye.